Hi everyone and welcome to our topic which is all about the projected financial statement. So from the keyword projected, no, dito is matututunan nyo paano ba mag-forecast or mag-estimate nung possible future financial statements of a business or a company. So importante 'yon kasi ang mga businesses is they focus on improvement. So if of course they will be projecting, syempre dapat may improvement at na-maintain yung profitability. So projected financial statements is a tool of the company to set an overall goal of what the company's performance and position will be for end as of the end of the year. So syempre no, start pa lang ng year ay pinaplano na natin ano ba yung dapat mangyari sa end of the year because this is a guide no for the managers in terms of implementing strategies or in terms of decision making na dapat ito yung targets natin, ito dapat yung ma-achieve natin, ipupush natin to kasi ito yung ating projected. So sabi nga dito, it sets targets to control and monitor activities of the company, forecast or calculate the following reports. So ano ba yung reports na normally pine-present sa company? We have the projected income statement and the projected statement of financial position. So sa income statement, no, technically it talks about the revenue and the income or the expenses, no? So normally yun yung nandito sa income statement. While the statement of financial position, nandito na lahat na from assets, okay, liabilities, and equity. Okay, so let's proceed. So application of projected financial statements approach. So dito, step 1 is you have to forecast the income statement. So yun yung unahin natin, kailangan nating forecast yung income statement. So from the past, no, from the past period, let's say last year, no, ano ba yung magiging sales projection natin? And normally, in the industry standards, 10 to 20% yung increase lagi, no, of the former period. Ganon din yung cost of sales, no? Pinaproject din natin yung cost of sales. Pag sinabing cost of sales, 'di ba, kunyari, binenta mo siya ng 100 pesos yung product. So, syempre, ginawa yung product na yon or kung hindi mo man siya manufacture, you buy it to resell. So, meron siyang cost, 'di ba? So, let's say the cost of that product na binenta mo ng 100 is 40 pesos. Okay, so therefore, yung 40 pesos is cost of sales and your profit or gross profit is 60 pesos every time you sell this product worth the price of 100 pesos. Then you have to prepare the production schedule and project the corresponding production cost, no? Kung mina-manufacture mo yung product, syempre dapat is meron tayong projected production cost na hindi tayo magsasayang ng mga raw materials, etc. Ayan, even direct materials na gagamitin. And syempre, yung labor, 'di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng sobrang daming ah, empleyado or mga workers, baka masyadong mataas yung expenses natin for labor. So, we have to monitor that. At pag sinabing overhead, ito yung parang mga other expenses like the electricity, it could be the rent, the water, no? It could be something like that. And then, you have to do estimate selling and administrative expenses. So, pag sinabing selling and administrative expenses, for example, you transport the products to the customer, tapos may mga paperwork yan, gagawa ka ng mga sales invoice, official receipts, no? So, yung mga ganon, administrative expenses yun. And then, consider financial expenses if any and determine the net profit. Okay? This is very important kasi every time that you do business, yes, no, maybe you have 1 million sales, pero kung ang expenses mo naman ay 900,999 pesos, so parang 'di ba, anong net profit mo? 'Di ba 1,000 pesos lang. Kumita ka nga ng milyon, pero ang net profit mo 1,000 pesos. So, again, even though the sales is high, but you cannot able to monitor your costs, your expenses, it's nothing. Baliwala. Then, step 2, okay? Forecast the statement of financial position. So, from this one, you could able to project ano ba yung assets, no, to support projected sales, no? Are you going to buy another equipment, or you're just going to maintain your present equipment? That is just an example. Or do you need extra cash, no? Or your reserve cash is already enough for you to operate? Mga ganon questions. Then project funds generated through accounts payable and accruals. So, as you can see, no, yung tinatawag nating accounts payable, technically, um, ito yung parang binabayad natin, no, doon sa mga, let's say, mga suppliers, no, kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng accounts payables doon. And, of course, no, once na naawas na natin yung mga utang-utang na yan, yung mga payables na yan, then we could able to have return earnings, which is profit. Okay? And then, letter C, we have the TED liability and stockholders equity. So, the liability is basically ito yung mga loans natin, no? Kung sa bangko man yan, no? Or sa other financial institution. And the stockholders equity has something to do with the capital, no? Kamusta na yung capital, kamusta na yung investment mo ng mga stockholders, lumalaki ba, no? Nag-increase ba? Kasi once na nagde-decrease yan, possible hindi ka na makahikayat ng investors in the future. So, sabi nga dito, no, accounts that will not rise spontaneously with sales, no? Example, notes payable, long-term bonds, preferred stock, and ordinary shares. So, itong notes payable, technically, this is part of the liability, okay? You are using promissory note for, let's say, to the supplier, diba? Na magbabayad ka next month, ganun. Then, yung mga bonds, no? It is considered payable kasi nga, parang nangutang ka sa mga investors, no? While this one, preferred stock and ordinary shares or common stock, ito yung parang ownership of the investors. So, bonds and stocks are different, no? But they are both an investment on the perspective of the investors. Okay? And letter D, determine if additional funds needed by using the following formula. So, kung kailangan pa ba natin ng additional funds to run our business, may formula siya. So, as you can see, no, additional funds needed or AFN, no, is the required increase in assets, okay, minus the spontaneous increase in liabilities and minus the increase in retained earnings. Okay, later we're going to have a sample of that. So the additional financing needed raised by borrowing from the banks as notes payable, by issuing long-term bonds, by selling new ordinary shares, or by combination of these actions. So, pwede tayong magkaroon ng additional funds by borrowing daw sa bangko, no? Pwede rin naman na, yun nga, mag-issue tayo ng long-term bonds para magkaroon tayo ng pera or additional capital or fund. Pwede rin naman magbenta tayo ng stocks or shares, no? So, yun yung mga way of the business to raise capital. So, step 3 is raising the additional funds needed. So, the financing decision will consider the following factors. First is the target capital structure. When you say the word capital structure, is gaano karami ang utang mo, gaano karami ang stocks mo or ownership, no? So, depende yan sa decision ng management kung dadamihan ba nila yung equity or yung ownership, or they will focus on, issuing bonds or let's say borrowing money from the bank. Okay? So, ayun. And then, the effect of short-term borrowing on its current ratio. So, kasi pag nanghihiram ka ng pera, naapektuhan yung current ratio mo. Okay? When you say the word current ratio, it has something to do with liquidity. Okay? So, ano ba ang liquidity? Liquidity is your capability to pay short-term obligations. Kunyari, no, nangutang ka. Okay, nangutang ka. So, syempre, every month, magbabayad ka ng utang, no? Ang tanong, habang nagbabayad ka ba ng utang, kaya mo din bang bayaran yung mga obligations mo? Pambayad ng kuryente, pambayad ng tubig, pambayad ng salary, pambayad ng renta? Can you follow? So, um, yes, pwede kang mangutang, pero you have to also consider the current ratio or the liquidity of your business. Baka kasi mamaya, ang laki na ng utang mo, hindi ka na makabayad hindi ka na liquid, no? Hindi ka na makabayad ng mga dapat mong bayaran every month. No? Nung sinabi ko nga, mga salary, mga kuryente, tubig, etc. Then conditions in the debt, equity, and equity markets, no? Kasi may mga ano yan, conditions na kunyari for the equity, syempre yung mga investors, no, they need to have ROI of their investment. So dapat normally 10% yung pinaka minimum niyan. So dapat nabibigay mo yung 10% na yan or yun nga, tatanggalin nila yung investment nila dun sa iyong company, mawawalan ka ng funds. And restriction imposed by existing debt agreements. So yung mga kunyari may mga utang ka, no? Parang for example, dapat mabayaran mo siya every quarter or every month. So kasi mapapenalize ka. So this could be some example of your consideration. And then consider financing feedbacks, no? Depending on whether additional funds borrowed or has raised through ordinary shares, consideration has given on additional interest in the income statement of or dividends, thus decreasing the retained earnings. So, syempre, no, once na, yun nga na, ikaw ay nangutang or nagbenta ng additional shares, possible yung retained earnings ay magdi-decrease, no? So, you have to also consider that. Okay? But kung kailangan talaga, edi you have to raise funds. So, this is an illustrative case of financial forecasting, which is the percent of sales method. So, the millennial company has the following statements are representative of the company's historical average. So, in December 31, 2019, ang sales daw nila is 2 million, no? That's a good number. But the cost of sales is 1.2 million. Okay? So, technically, um, more or less, no, nasa more than 50% yung kanilang, yung kanilang cost of sales. So, try nga natin computing kung ilang percent yun para lang clear. So, I'm going to use calculator. Saan ba yung calcio ko? Ayan. So, 1.2 million, okay, divided by 2 million. So, lumalabas is the cost of sales is 60%, no? Ito ay 60% ng ating sales. Okay? So, therefore, ang ating gross profit ay 800,000. Ayan. So, 40% of the sales. Siyempre, kung 60 to, di 40 na to, sure na yun. 40% of the sales, no? Siyempre, naawas na natin yung cost of sales. Ito yung mga raw materials, no? Or ginastos mo doon sa product mismo. Siyempre, may mga other expenses ka pa, yung tinatawag nating operating expense, no? So, ayan, no? Which is 380,000. Okay? So, if we're going to get the percentage of 380,000 dun sa ating, what you call this? Sa ating sales, lumalabas na 380,000 divided by 2 million. So, around 19%, no? So, ito ay 19% ng sales. Itong 380,000. Okay? So, ito na, no? Ito na yung magiging earnings natin before interest and taxes. Kasi, syempre, may mga binabayaran tayong mga interest, no? Ayan. And taxes, of course. Yan. So, let's say, no, minus na natin yung interest expense. Yan, which is 70,000. So, meron tayong earning before taxes na 350,000. Then, taxes here is 35%. But, if I'm not mistaken, for as of now, parang 30% na lang ata, no, ang corporate tax. But anyway, this is just an example lang naman. So, ayan, 122,500. So, therefore, ang ating net income after taxes is 227,500. So if we're going to get the percentage of that, 227,500 divided by 2 million, which is the sales, times 100, nasa 11%, no? 11.3%. So, 11% yung ating net income. Okay? Ayan. Tapos, no, the board of directors, no, from the earnings, no, will, for example, no, o sige, magde-declare ako ng dividends na yan, this one. So, getting this one, no, lumalabas na ang ating dividends dito, no, na dineclare ng board of director is, kunin nga natin yung percent, 136,500 divided by 2 million times 100. So, nasa around 6.8%, no, or yan, 6.8% compared to the sales. Pero ngayon, if we're going to compare that to the net income, lumalabas yung percent niyan is 136,500 divided by ito, 227,500. So, 6%, no? Kung dito natin siya i-compare naman sa net income, parang 6% of the net income yung naging dividends, no? Yun yung decision ng board of directors. Tapos, for the statement of financial position, or they call it also the balance sheet, no? Ang cash daw natin during December 2019 is, ang natirang cash is 50,000. Tapos, meron pa tayong accounts receivable na 400,000. Tapos, may inventory pa tayo na 750,000. So, when you say the word accounts receivable, ito yung parang hihintayin pa nating pera from our clients, ganun, or from our customers. While inventory, ito yung pwedeng mga materials na meron tayo. So, ang ating total current assets ay 1.2 million. So, pag sinabing current assets, ito yung ginagamit nating asset normally 1 year or less, no? Kaya siya current. Pag sinabi namang non-current or fixed asset, no, this is a non-current asset, ito yung normally ginagamit natin more than a year. More than 1 year, no? So, for example, let's say mga equipment, mga yung planta, no? So, hindi ko alam kung ano itong asset na to, pero fixed asset daw yan, okay? So, lumalabas, if we're going to total all of this, that is, should be 2 million, no? Ayan. Pagdating naman sa liabilities and equity, meron tayong utang or accounts payable na 250,000 noong 2019. Then, accrued expense and accrued taxes na 10,000 and 20,000. When you say the word accrued expense and accrued taxes, ito yung pananagutan pa natin na kailangan natin, yun nga, yung kunyari, babayaran pa natin yung tax do sa mga payable natin, babayaran pa natin ng tax si government, kasi yung government, meron siyang date of remittance eh. Hindi naman agad yan pagkakuha. Kunyari, nagbenta ka ng product, ay makukuha agad ni government yung tax, hindi, no? Parang inaano mo na yan. May period yan, tapos yun, i-remit mo yung tax. Kaya siya accrued taxes. So, ang ating total current liabilities is 280,000. And then, we have notes payable sa bank na 70,000. Then, we have long-term debt na 150,000. So, ang ating total liabilities, no, is, ayan, 500,000. By the way, no, ang pinagkaiba ng current liabilities, no, dun sa ating non-current liabilities is that ito yung liability na normally binabayaran mo 1 year or less, no? Kung ang asset, ang current asset, ginagamit mo na asset 1 year or less, ito naman, ito yung current liabilities na babayaran mo 1 year or less. Pag long-term liability, pag ano naman siya, yun nga, yung non-current liabilities, ito binabayaran mo siya more than a year, no? Pwedeng 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or more. And then, we have the ordinary shares. Ito yung mga investment nung mga investors natin, which is 1.2 million. Then we have retained earnings of 300,000. So, ang ating total shareholder equity is 1.5 million. So, dapat yung asset, no, and liabilities and equity balance siya. Okay? So, dapat both 2 million. So the firm is expecting a 20% increase in sales. So ito na yung para maging assumption natin for year 2020. Okay? And management is concerned about the company's need for external funds, no? So kumbaga, ay, sabi ng management, kakailangan natin ng pondo ulit, no? So the increase in sales expected to carry out without any expansion of fixed asset. So sabi nila, yung equipment natin ngayon or planta, kung ano man yung 800,000 na kanina, hindi na daw nila dadagdagan yun, okay? But rather, through or more efficient asset utilization in the existing store, so gagamitin nila yung present fixed asset nila. Among liabilities, only current liabilities vary directly with sales. So, kumbaga, yung liabilities daw nila, ito daw yung directly na nakaka-apekto sa sales, no? So, using the percent of sales method, determine whether of the company has external financing needs or a surplus of funds. Ayan. So, here, okay, kung last year, no, ito yung ating projected income statement, no? So, last year daw, no, is 2 million ang sales natin. Ang target daw natin is additional 20%. So, times 120%. So, ang target sales na natin is 2.4 million. So, that's normal, no? Normal nangyayari yan na dapat additional 10 or 20%. Ganun yung ano. Or minsan mas mataas kung nakikita nila may trending yung business mo no next year. So ganun din no kanina 'di ba? So parang yung cost of sales is around 60% no. So yun yung assumption din natin. Syempre dapat hindi lalagpas sa 60% yung cost of sales kasi kunyari tumaas yan naging 1.7 million. Yung mga managers na nag-handle ng production or operation, hindi nila na monitor yung gastos nila sa cost of sales. So may mali doon, 'di ba? So therefore, ang gross profit natin is 960,000. So if you can see, no, parang binase lang din natin to dun sa year 2019 na 60%. Okay? And then ganun din, no? 19% ito nung dito, nung sales, 'di ba? And so on and so forth, okay? So technically, um ayun, no, technically is ganun lang yun, percent lang yun. Okay? Pine-percent lang natin dito. So, parang ito dapat 6%, hindi 36%. No? Kasi laki naman ng 36% na. Ito lang naman yun, diba? So, 6% yan. Typographical error. And then, we have to forecast the statement of financial position. So, dito is, ayan, no, 60,000. So, uh, meron tong financial assumption. Okay? So, kasi last year, 2019, 50,000 eh, 'di ba? So, parang lumalabas, nag-increase siya ng 10,000. So, ilang percent ang increase nun? So, 10,000 divided by 50,000. So, nag-increase din siya ng 20%, no? So, yung cash natin, nag-increase din ng 20% nung last year kasi 50,000 yun. So, ngayon, 60,000 na. So, here, ang ating accounts receivable is this one, 486,000. And inventory. So normally parang we just try to benchmark dun sa year 2019. So I just forgot kung ilang percent to pero more or less no. Ganun lang din yun. Mga around 10 to 20% yung increase or decrease. Okay? So ayan, so meron din tayong mga accounts payable, accrued wages. Pag sinabi accrued wages, ito yung parang 'di ba, pag sumasahod yung mga empleyado, normally 15 katapusan. So, hindi agad binibigay, 'di ba? Hindi kunyari pumasok ka ngayon, pag uwi mo hindi naman agad nabibigay yung sahod. So, kaya siya tinawag na accrued wages. Okay? So, lumalabas dito na yun nga no, na yung total asset natin is 2,240,000 base dito sa forecast. So, kung ipa-plus natin yun, um, itong mga forecasted natin liabilities and equity, lumalabas na 2,236,500. So, hindi pa siya balance, diba? So, therefore, lumalabas na meron tayong additional funds required na 3,500 para mabalance to. Okay? So, Ayan, ito pala yung supporting computation, kagaya ng sinabi natin kanina, no? Ayan. Okay. So, it's not additional 20% of the last year. Parang kinompare pala yun dun sa sales din. So, lumalabas yung cash nung 2019, no, is 50,000, 'di ba? 50,000. Yan siya nasusulat. Tapos, dinivide natin sa 2 million. Kasi nung 2019, 2 million eh. So, times 100, lumalabas na 2.5%. Okay? So, dahil nga nag-increase tayo ng sales no, nung 2020 to 2.4 million, 2.5% din yung kukunan natin sa cash. So, ganun yung naging computation pala natin. No? And then, for accounts receivable, 20% of 2.4 million. For inventory, 37.5% of 2.4 million. And then, no percentage computed for fixed asset. Kasi nga, yun nga, kagaya ng sinabi natin kanina, parang wala naman daw na idadagdag for fixed asset, no? Notes payable, long-term debt, ordinary shares, and retained earnings because they are not assumed to maintain a direct relationship with sales volume. So, kumbaga, wala daw parang kaugnayan yung mga fixed asset, notes payable, dun sa pagtaas ng sales. Okay? For simplicity, depreciation is not explicitly considered. So, hindi na natin considered yung depreciation expense. Ito yung pagbaba ng value ng asset. And then, accounts payable is 12.5% of 2.4 million. Kasi daw yung accounts payable, may kaugnayan siya sa pagtaas ng sales. No? Kasi kunyari, kailangan mo additional raw materials. So, syempre, mangungutang ka kay supplier. So, tataas ang sales mo, tataas din yung accounts payable mo. And then, as you can see, accrued expense is 0.5% of 2.4 million. And the accrued taxes is 1% of 2.4 million. Okay, again, the accrued expenses, ito yung mga dapat pa nating bayaran, no? For example, yung mga loan natin sa bangko, no, that's an accrued expense. Okay? Accrued taxes, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ito yung parang mga taxes na kailangan nating i-remit, no? Na hindi naman agad-agad. Kunyari, bumili si customer, may tax yun. Maririmit agad natin sa BIR. Hindi agad yun, no? Meron siyang period of remittance. And of course, the retained earnings is this one, no? 282,100 minus 101,600. So, the formula, no, in additional financing needed, no, may be also computed as follows. So, yung additional funds needed is equals to required increase in sales minus the spontaneous in liabilities minus increase in retained earnings. So, first is let's compute the required increase in sales, no? So, change in sales times the current asset present, then divided by the sales present. Okay? So, later meron tayong example niyan. So, ayan, spontaneous increase after nun, spontaneous increase in to call this, in liabilities is change in sales times current liabilities divided by the sales. And increase in retained earnings is equals to earning after taxes minus the dividend 2020. So, to illustrate, ito yung answer dyan. Ayan. So, as you can see, no, ito yung mga figures. Okay. That's why we come up with the additional funding needed of 3,500. No? So, normally, this one, no, nakuha lang din natin dun sa mga financial statements. Okay, for example, this one, diba, this 1.2 million, ito naman yung parang additional, diba, parang ang change kasi, diba, from 2 million, naging 2.4 million. So, meron tayong change na 400,000 in the sales, no? So, ganun lang yun. So, that would be all, and thank you so much.